Ag Week Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
Are these warmer days here to stay? Here's John with our Agri-weather outlook.
From the winter that wouldn't quit in the far northern plains, it's now the spring that's really having trouble warming up. It looks like the cool weather pattern in the northern plains and many areas of the Great Lakes will persist on into May with some variation. As the sun climbs higher, you do get warmer and warmer weather, but no real appreciable warming pattern. There is going to be a little bit of a shift in the pattern, though. I do look for the wet weather that has been rather persistent in some parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest to begin to shift more southward in this pattern. And I do look for a general drying trend to take place over much of the United States, as the rain will be focused down in the southern part of the country, with the north and the west looking mostly dry. Let's go to the weather pattern. Here we go. Jet stream pattern as we begin this here on the weekend. Fairly cool weather into the Great Lakes, northern plains. Not really frigid weather. That's, of course, retreated this time of year. But the jet stream still kind of coming out of the northwest. And we've just had some rain and snow, so temperatures still struggling to cool down. The dark blue, the cold, is mostly near or below freezing highs, and that is mostly in Canada and in the Rocky Mountains. But a lot of 40s and 50s in this light blue area. Deep south, Florida, South Texas, the Southwest have some pretty hot weather. A lot of those spots in the 80s and 90s, but the rest of the nation not really particularly warm, largely because of this deep low-pressure trough jet stream staying pretty far south. If this were wintertime, this would be an Arctic air outbreak, but as it is getting on toward the end of April and the start of May, it's just cool weather. But as you can see, cool it will remain from North Dakota to western New York and as far south as Illinois and Indiana and Ohio. Meanwhile, as we go forward, this ridge of high pressure out west will pull warm weather northward. All that snowpack in the Sierra is going to start melting as we get into May, and if the pattern remains warm, I am concerned that flooding will be a real problem in some areas out west like the Central Valley as those snows melt. Meanwhile, in the northern plains, this is not a pattern that is likely to bring a lot of heavy precipitation. In fact, the only place that really looks wet, and I'll show you this in just a minute, is down here where the jet stream is delivering cool temperatures into the mid-south. That area will likely stay fairly wet over the next couple of weeks. Now we're into the first full week of May. Jet still looking fairly cool, but maybe beginning to show some signs of retreat. Precipitation, not a lot. I do look for some Colorado snow this week and rain and thunderstorms across the southern plains and the southeastern states, segueing into early May. Not saying this entire area will be bone dry, but it does not look particularly wet. The showers and thunderstorms looks like they'll continue down across the south and up the eastern seaboard, and at least as the snow melts in California, they won't be getting rain.